What is going on, everybody? This is Raj from Eastside Rage. With Silent Hill stepping back into the game industry like a formerly retired athlete bored and trying to recapture his youth, Silent Hill F hit shelves and is taking numbers left and right more than your date that refuses to tell you her body count. So does it follow the same bar as Silent Hill 2 remake did? Well, the answer is no, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Despite not having much to do with the actual franchise because it's a prequel, Silent Hill F is a new spin-off on the franchise with a lot of new interesting ideas. Yes, it has its flaws, but it's a good horror game, and I believe people, some people would enjoy it. It's not for everybody, but I believe some people will. But ignore the fucking mouth-breathing retards, that broken wrist syndrome saying, oh, it's a Shaw's clone with an attempt at feminist propaganda. No, the fuck it's not. No, the fuck it's not. They're just taking a journal entry, running with it, or just a few clips off of YouTube, or whatever. It's nothing like that at all. It's just showing you the point of view of a teenage girl in 1960s Japan, okay? But anyway, let's move on to the story. The story takes place in a town located in the country of Japan in the 60s called Ebisugoka, which is said to either be Prosperity or Lucky Hills. It takes place in the same universe as the franchise, and it's connected through a flower called the White Claudia. Known as in Japan, I guess let me try to say it, Hakuku or something like that. That causes hallucinogens in Silent Hill. That is probably, where Hanako got her, is it being administered inside of Hanako's pills. It's been said that foreign missionaries brought it over here. Basically, that and everything like that. So that's basically like its connection. It's not massive, but that's how it connects. And it is this does take place before the game, so that is to be expected. Why it's not connected to the old game, so people could, I guess, fall back with that idea, like saying it's a completely different game. It's not. It's just different, and it's a spin-off. It's a prequel. But anyway, moving on to the story. You play as a teenage girl called Hanako, Shimizu, who has strong resentment towards her father, who's abusive, drunk, and a mother for being an enabler. She has a sister called Junko that is probably a manifestation of a reflection due to Hanako being put in a situation where she has to be in an arranged marriage due to her fucking father's debts or whatever. I'm not sure if Junko is real, is actually in the game, is basically, like an imaginary character to her because she moved on, or died, or something like that. I am not sure. But her growing up during those times, a lot of women didn't get treated with respect despite equality being on the rise, and were expected to go along with traditional roles. Basically, she, well, it's not just that. She also has problems with this girl, Rinko, who is very antagonistic and jealous of her due to her best friend, Shu, that's a boy. Is basically, well, her partner is that they both have feelings. They both have feelings for each other, but they don't, I guess they haven't figured it out yet, or whatever. But they figure it out depending on which ending you pick. I'm not going to spoil the game for you. On a foggy day, she gets in an argument with her father, typically, and decides to storm out the house, meet with her friends. While heading down the hills of Ebisugoka, she notices that the town is empty and no one's home. She meets up with Shu, Rinko, and her friend Sakuko, and they're just having a chat. This is one of her friends that probably sees Hanako for more than just friends, and I think she's crushing on her too. Out of nowhere, flowers start appearing and chasing kids all over town. Countless monsters are everywhere, and all the bridges are out of town. While trying to find ways out, Hanako constantly finds herself passing out and going to the other world, known as, in this game, the Dark Shrine, going through trials to prove that she is worthy by this mysterious man dressed as a fox with somewhat divine power, and goes by the name Foxhand. Hanako must try to find herself and confront her guilt and trauma, or end up following down the same tradition that her mother and probably Sister Junko went through. The game story is decent, although it doesn't follow the normal Silent Hill trend. It still provides like that guilt and trauma aspect in a dark, horrific way. You know, the atmosphere of the world of A.B. Silgat, sorry if I'm saying it wrong, it's kind of hard for me to remember, but you know what I mean. In the Dark Shrine are atmospheric, beautiful, haunting. I love the scenery. I love the scenery, but I'll get back to that later. As for the characters, I thought most of them were decent to good, and I'm not trying to say they're completely interesting, but they feel like actual people that go through actual problems and are trying to figure things out, you know. And I would say my favorite character outside of Hanako was Foxmask, until I found out what he was doing later. He's a very, outspoken, powerful, respectful, tough, mysterious, and cool. But, I guess I said enough about the story. The story was great, good, decent to good, was great. But the gameplay, that's where, few points got taken off. Summing up the gameplay in a few words would be very, very difficult, so just hang tight. It feels like Silent Hill with extra elements. And, while the people might say Siren and, what else is that game called? Forgot that game with the camera. Hold up. Fatal Frame. But it feels more like a Silent Hill game to me. Well, this is not the scariest Silent Hill game. It is very disturbing and can be very unsettling. It really does set the tone. They brought back the inventory system from the Room in a way, with a few tweaks, but there being no item box. It's just stupid because I do often run out of, room, and I gotta see something I want. I gotta either sell it or use it, run from this, little shrine or whatever to sell it, then run back and go get it or whatever. Gotta decide if I want to keep it or sell it. They should have just introduced the item box like from Silent Hill or whatever. I guess they didn't want to be like Resident Evil, but you already introduced it in, The Room, my bad. Silent Hill, The Room. It is dumb, if you ask me. It also introduces an upgrade system, which does seem out of place, but it actually is pretty cool because you can find items, like I said, throughout the world and offer it as the offering to the shrine. To improve your health, stamina, and sanity because you will need it, and other perks as you go along. As for the stamina gauge, I don't like it. Not because it's Souls-like, because this game is not Souls-like. This game, I don't know what people are talking about, but I guarantee people who are still going off of the narrative that is Soul-like did not play it. It's not, it's more the fact that I am fighting, I'm doing my thing or whatever, and I'm fighting like 4 to 5 enemies at a time or whatever. Even though my stamina upgrades, I run out quick, bro. It's just a pain in the ass, bro. Just remove that shit. Stick to the traditional ways. We do not need a stamina gauge. It was annoying. I think Downpour had that shit or whatever, but it didn't show. It is annoying. We don't need that. This ain't the Evil Within. Okay. And as for, I guess, the combat, it takes some getting used to, but eventually you'll get with it. You will get with it. It's like, normal, you get to, I guess the weapons, they do break like in Downpour and in Origins. In the Dark Shrine, but however in the Dark Shrine you get a knife, a sacred sword, and a wolf arm, which I would add felt really out of place, but it does go along with the plot, but they should have did something else. The wolf arm somewhat makes things too easy until you start fighting, I guess, the bosses. And they weren't even that much of a challenge. But Silent Hill bosses aren't really that hard. They can be fun, I guess. But, you always got to consider the resources and, your health and everything before getting into the battle. There's no shame in running away. Or whatever. There's a variety of enemies and different bosses. The enemies are tough depending on the difficulty and where you are in the game. Mostly in the Dark Shrine, replicants from the real world will show. I would say the one that gave me the most trouble was the fucking stupid Carbonara. It's like this faceless. I mean Kamugara. My bad. It's this faceless demon or whatever that looks like a prisoner and can move so fast and can dodge about anything, and escaping them is almost impossible. And there's another replicant that could lick you, and it gets stronger when it does in the other world. In the real world, not the other world. Yeah, they need to scrap that game completely, because sometimes I don't feel like fighting them and I'm running away. Not to mention, this game sometimes will block off areas so you could get rid of them. Get rid of the demons or whatever. Yeah, they need to. Yeah, it is annoying or whatever. I guess the game has 5 to 6 bosses depending on what area you get. They're all different or whatever. All provide a different challenge. Not too difficult. Not something you can't handle if you are spent time upgrading Hanako. Yeah, you won't have trouble getting past them. Okay, yeah. I would say the map. Okay, wrapping up, I guess, the gameplay. We can talk about the world. The map is, the maps of the Dark Shrine and in Abusoga, or Abusoga, it's a hard word to for Abusoga, let's just say that. My bad. It's tongue twister. Yeah, they're beautiful. They're beautiful atmospheric levels. A lot of even with the characters, a lot of attention to detail went into them. But I'm gonna save the graphics for later. The level design is great. However, I would say the backtracking does suck because the game doesn't allow you to backtrack that much. You go to in the real world, Ebisoga is everything is together, but you can't backtrack. If you decide after you wake up, you decide to go to one end of the town, that other end of the town be blocked off. So if you left something or forgot to do something, well, too bad. You gotta do that next playthrough. The Dark Shrine just takes you through 3 different locations, allowing you not to backtrack. It will work with the Dark Shrine, I get it, but it does not work with, the real world. It doesn't. They should have actually worked on that. But anyway, let's move on to graphics and sound. The music, yeah, they did a great job, but it's to be expected. Konami, and I forgot which developer worked on it, but they got the right idea. They put the horror aspect up to the part, every time I'm playing it, I feel like somebody's in the room or whatever, and they did it. It's even when the music isn't terrifying, it really captures the moment. They really know what they're doing, especially with the sound design. I'm always thinking somebody is behind me or whatever in real life, especially when those scarecrows are creeping up on me and everything like that. They nailed it. They nailed the sound design and everything like that. And I guess moving on to the graphics. Yeah, the graphics, the world is beautiful. Like I said, there's attention to detail, especially for Unreal Engine 5 game. Because Unreal Engine 5, I'm not trying to say games necessarily look bad, but they, lack a certain type of art style. Even though this game looks real, it still looks beautiful. Has a bit of a unique art style or whatever. The game, flowers look, gruesome. Environments look gruesome or whatever. But yeah, the Dark Shrine does look dark, but the colors really show and everything like that. The attention to detail is there, even with the characters. They look real, but they don't look too real. They look like, detail, keep saying details were put into them. They look like they got it done. As for polish, yeah, the game does, have its laggy issues, especially when you throw it into a performance, but it isn't completely unplayable, especially for an Unreal Engine 5 game. They No, I mean, actually, polished the hell of it, did that thing. I didn't run into any type of glitches, any type of, I guess, freezes. I didn't run into any freezes, anything like that. The game is decently optimized. So I guess we could move on to the verdict. Silent Hill F is an interesting game. Although it has its flaws, such as its, somewhat of its combat, its backtracking, what else? Like, I would say, I didn't mention this. It's vague and poorly designed puzzles. They were not fun. None of them made any sense. They weren't hard. They were just very stupid or whatever. No hint or actual indicator of what you should be doing. The lack of backtracking in both areas or whatever. The stamina gauge. How dumb the fox arm is. I don't know what the fuck they was thinking with that and weapons breaking. But yeah, overall, it does have decent historic characters. Hanako, she's a compelling, complex lead that relates to a lot of people. I mean, in their teens, especially from that time. It has a good blend of action and horror. It never lets one outweighs the other. The tone, the setting, the atmospheric level design, the amazing enemy design, character design, and the tense and unsettling moments and everything does make it a great game. And it did keep me on edge, all despite the flaws. This is why I am rating Silent Hill F a 7.5 out of 10. Okay, I know you guys wanted me to push to an 8, but I felt like it was in between a 7 and an 8. It's a good game. It's worth it. Yeah, is it great? No, or whatever. But if you don't agree, let me know, or whatever. But yeah, stay tuned, because I'm been playing not the granddaddy of survival horror, a game that brings a lot of survival horror elements back. Ghost of Yortai is next, and I'm going to be finishing up Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake. Anyway, this is Eastside Rage signing out. Keep raging out. I'll catch you on the next stream.